3, 2, 1, click. This is Date With Us, a dating sim podcast where two lover girls, me, Kanisha,
and me, Claire,
date, mate, and rate cyber sweeties because every gamer needs a little love in their saves.
We're inviting you to join us for our digital debriefs about our pixelized paramours. Whether they're in visual novels, roguelites, or funky indie darlings, we'll dish on who we're romancing and if our choices really mattered.
It doesn't matter if you're here to get love, lust, or just the bus.
You'll get to know at least one worthwhile person. Yourself.
So, light some candles,
Partake in a vice of your choosing,
and we'll give you the lowdown on the games to download.
I had so many ways that we could have started this episode, and then every single one of them left my mind.
No.
Dear listeners, hello. It's winter. It's the
Happy holidays.
It's Christmas Eve, babes, for those who celebrate.
Ooh,
it's Christmas Eve
Merry
today.
Christmas Eve, everybody.
Christmas.
The snow's coming down.
Yes, you guys got it. I was like, I can't tell. I didn't commit enough.
No, you committed just enough.
I was like, you
threw it
committed
away.
just enough where I was like, oh, I know what to do now. I got the
Yeah.
assignment.
I meant to come like festively dressed, so instead I'm just going to show off my festive blanket that my mom made. So everybody remember that it's festive time, okay?
It's festive.
I
I don't have
love
anything. I'm
Tammy.
wearing a sweater. Is that like
That counts.
festive, right?
That
I'm in
counts.
California, so that doesn't happen very often. When it's cold
Oh.
here, it's cold. So.
I have this pop punk Christmas playlist, and one of the songs in it is West Coast Christmas. And if you haven't heard West Coast Christmas yet, the song, you really should, Jared, because it feels very up your alley.
I love myself some pop punk. So yes,
Good. A man after our own heart, honestly.
yeah.
Which, if you haven't gathered, Jared's back, guys.
I'm back.
He's back.
Yay!
Our
Just in
first
time for the
man,
holiday.
Also, our first recurring guest ever. And we're so thrilled to have him.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to come back and talk about the sequel to this game. And it just works out that it's perfectly like holiday themed too.
Okay, I have to stop trying to find the link for this playlist because I will send it to you after. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that
I was like, la la la, scrolling through pop punk Christmas music. I should reintroduce Jared. Jared, should I reread your bio in a different accent? No.
I was going to say yes.
What accent should I do? Because I'm not picking one for myself because they're all going to be bad. But we did get a compliment on the British one.
Yes, you did. I saw that.
I was so honored.
Wait, French.
Jared, graphic designer and podcaster. I have a love of everything Nintendo, especially Pokemon and Zelda. Two franchises that made me fall in love with gaming. I am a big fan of music, both guitar, piano. You look like you're full of regret.
Keep going,
But keep
please.
going.
Love how music in video games can connect people on an emotional level to the worlds they are playing through. I also host the Play Along podcast with my two other co-hosts, Kai and Ben, where we play through video games in a book club format. Whatever.
There you go. There's a little bit of the
Oh.
Yeah.
that was great. You know, it's perfect. You know, Claire Obscure just won Game of the Year, right? We talked about that.
I
This is
just
perfect
started it.
for-
I'm
Oh
very
my
excited to experience it. It's going to be a wild ride, I know. I
keep
literally was
tissues
resistant
nearby,
to
I'll
it
just
because
say
it
that.
has
Just-
my name in it.
That's fair.
Which
Keep
is
tissues
so silly.
nearby.
Yeah.
That game's
I can
sad.
already tell. I just got
It's
through the
so
prologue and I was already getting really...
Yeah, it's a sad game, but it's good. It's good. Anything that can, bring up emotions and emotions like that is always a good time. So, but
I'm
it's
not
sad.
strong. I'm not strong at all.
Oh, report back.
You will cry. Tears will.
Is it a
happen for
dating
sure.
sim?
I almost cried playing this game.
I mean, kind. There is definitely like bonfire, like get to know bonding connections aspects to the game. So adjacent, I guess.
Can you smooch?
No smooch.
No smooch in this whole fucking game?
Not
Wow.
Directly intentional smooches.
Well,
But-
I'm not sure that there are smooches in Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star either. So
there's more spice and romance in Claire Obscure than in this game.
Good to know.
Low bar. Lowest bar.
Since it's our holiday episode, since we've already heard about your experiences with dating sims, Jared, I
Yeah.
want to hear about your experiences I want to hear about your experiences with holiday rom-coms. I'm a huge holiday rom-com fiend.
Ooh.
And I'm curious if you have either any favorites or if you're like anti-holiday rom-com. You could just say your favorite holiday movie if you have one. But I'm always very curious.
Let me look at holiday rom-coms because none are coming to my mind.
Let me tell you about my favorite holiday rom-com while you decide. And Kanisha, I don't know, you like a holiday rom-com. Yeah. So my problematic fave of all time holiday movies is the ABC Family original movie entitled Holiday in Handcuffs. And Holiday in Handcuffs features Melissa Joan Hart as a down-on-her-luck young woman who gets broken up with right before her family's like rustic holiday away Christmas at a cabin. So as she's having a full breakdown because she got a bad perm and a bad job interview and then her boyfriend broke up with her and all these things, she kidnaps Mario Lopez at gunpoint with an 18th century gun.
Oh, damn.
And takes him, this is all like first 7 minutes of the movie also, to be clear, and takes him away to her family's Christmas celebration. And the family is a real cast of characters. We have a grandma who used to be a Broadway star. We've got a brother with like some things he's hiding from the family, a sister with some stuff she's hiding from the family. And over the course of the movie, obviously they do fall in love. It is so unbelievable. It is so obviously problematic and goofy, but I love it so much. It's so camp. It's so absurd. I love it.
Okay, I'm going through a list of holiday rom-coms, and I have a clarifying question. Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah. So Edward Scissorhands has become like a holiday because of the snow scene, I think. Edward Scissorhands has become a holiday classic in the same way that like Die Hard is, you know?
I see. They're now just synonymous with holiday season, even if there's not a lot of holiday themes within the movie themselves. I see.
Yeah, there's like adjacent holiday experiences, therefore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basic. This is a movie that I love watching every year, but it's Elf. Like, Elf is great. I love watching Elf. It's a basic movie, I know. But it's not on this list. It's number 2.
Kanisha and I both immediately shook our heads no, dear listener.
Because it's just calm. But like that happens to have room. It's not like it doesn't have the rom-com spirit. But I'm not going to judge. Yes.
I mean, according to goodhousekeeping.com, it is the number 2 holiday rom-com. So, I mean.
But I'm sorry. I'm not going to Good Housekeeping. Good Housekeeping is absolutely sanitizing the holiday rom-com.
Literally, I'll trust them when they tell me which floor cleaner to use, not which rom-com
you need.
This
Although
is crazy.
Hot Frosty is also really high, which I don't know. Hot Frosty is good.
I have so much beef with Hot Frosty. Don't even fucking get me started on Hot Frosty. Hot Frosty makes me so mad. I literally did a monologue yesterday in the car on the way to a play about how angry Hot Frosty makes me because they freaking sanitized it. They freaking, if you were going to make a movie called Hot Frosty and he is supposed to be hot as fuck, what you should not do then is completely make him child coded and then make the woman who's supposed to be his love interest, both his mom and his love interest, and also basically he is like completely desexualized, but then also they're supposed to be falling in love, and I'm like, you named this movie Hot Frosty, give me Hot Frosty. Should have been Chad Michael Murray, should have been different people.
Pictures of him shirtless here too.
Yeah, I mean, he is shirtless. It's literally so like it's so it makes me so mad.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, and it's slop. Like bad. It is slop. It's second screen.
Like you had a lot of potential with Hot Frosty too. Like you should have really got into this too.
Yes. We should write a new Hot Frosty fanfic tomorrow.
We can write a new Hot Frosty movie. I just still got final draft. We got that right now.
Let's do it. Okay.
We'll do that.
Date With Us movie release is the new Hot Frosty, actually.
Gonna make a movie, making games.
We have a video game right now. We have a movie idea. We're doing it.
I'm here with
Let me lock in.
The Date With Us cinematic universe. I'm here with it.
Exactly. Well, you're in it, Jared. You're gonna be you're gonna be in the wiki now as our first recurring guest.
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
I didn't answer that question.
What do you have? Would you like to answer?
I was like, Claire's about to move on.
No, I actually knew you didn't answer yet.
Yeah, okay. My question, or my answer.
Your question?
My answer to the question, my favorite holiday rom-coms, boring. But, I mean, obviously.
Is it more boring than Elf?
Is it Elf?
It's not more boring than Elf. Okay, have y'all seen The Holiday? It has Jack Black,
Of course.
Jude Law. Yes, of course. The Holiday. And then while you were sleeping, because
classic.
And then what else do I have to watch? Like every holiday.
You picked like proper movies.
I know,
picked like TV movies.
But it's just like these are my real answers.
Yeah.
There's like, I also feel it switches between When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail.
Also classics.
I love You've Got Mail. I'm gonna go with You've Got Mail for now because When Harry Met Sally would make me depressed right now. But You've Got Mail is so good, and I like the scene where they do like what is it called when you sing like rounds. You sing in rounds, like
in a round.
Yeah, I love that scene with like the different instruments. It's so cute.
My cute friend.
Okay, those are my answers. Wow.
I'm just learning that I'm bad with movies in general. I feel like there's loads of movies I haven't seen that are very popular that I need to mitigate.
Do I have an Excel spreadsheet for you?
You should probably also share that with me because I don't know anything about. I mean, I just revealed my favorite holiday movie is Holiday in Handcuffs, so that's about where I'm at. The movie I watched the most is probably Zombies. So
you love zombies. I haven't seen those. Yes, we'll put.
I'm so sorry to say that when you arrive at my home over winter break, you are gonna have to watch Zombies.
Is that also a holiday?
Oh my god, no, it's not at all. It's a Disney Channel original movie.
Did I open a can of worms here?
We're not going to go down this can of worms. It's a Disney Channel original movie we can discuss at length later.
Oh.
Did someone say can of worms, by the way? Sorry.
Milo Manheim, love him. If you actually want to see him in something like more real, he's in School Spirits and it's really good.
There's 4 of these?
Yeah. We got to get into... If you're listening to this and you want to hear the Zombies bonus episode, please let us know because we could do a Zombies bonus episode. But right now is not the time. It's Christmas, not Halloween. It's winter festivity.
It's holiday
the
star.
The snow's coming down.
It's holiday star.
Speaking of, we're falling in love already, folks. But here we are to continue doing it. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? This is our next New York Times question to fall in love with anyone. To quantify it as most actually really stresses me out.
This is I immediately was like hierarchying things, and I don't think there's things that are on the same level, they're different contextually for different reasons and everything too. So
and like right now in this moment versus literally 5 minutes from now, I might be so grateful for a fresh cup of coffee. You know.
I mean, I have a boring answer.
Please.
Okay, my immediate thought is just like my family. I love them. They raised me so well, and there are so many of them. And yeah, I would hate life without them. So, woo!
Let's go. I'll get more existential with mine. I'll do less existential and more just emotional. I'm grateful for, at this moment, my younger self. I'm doing a lot of unpacking in therapy and stuff. And I feel a lot of times that we will kind of blame our younger self for being dysfunctional or making bad decisions and all of this too. But we were doing the best that we can with our circumstances. And even if that was dysfunctional, we made it. We hung in there, we hunkered down, and we made it. And that led us to who we are now. And like, I appreciate that so much. That little kid that was doing his best just to survive, he did it. And he hung in there and he did it so I can be who I am today. And that's, maybe a little too deep for this episode.
No, it's the holiday episode. Yeah. We're reflective.
Was such a beautiful answer. Did I just get out emotioned by a man? You're not welcome back. This is your final episode. This is crazy.
Did you say this is a battle episode?
No, I said this is your final episode.
Final episode.
That too.
I was like, wait, what kind of battle are we doing?
Yeah. Well, how we fighting? How we throwing down?
I'm going to do something so material because we have covered the like very emotional.
The spectrum.
I was driving home last night from the play that I mentioned earlier, and I realized that I have been driving my car for more than half my life. I drive a Toyota Corolla that my grandmother bought new in 2005. And then I learned how to drive on that car when I was 15 and a half. And it became my mom and I bought it from her when I turned 16. And I was driving home last night and it's old as hell. That car's 20 years old. He's still cooking. Like Carl the Corolla is living.
Carl the
And I just, there are like, stains from different points in my life and like an ash burn from someone in my family smoking in there when they shouldn't have. And like, just like all of these things in there that it's like a real time capsule. And it always makes me feel really like emotional and also grateful. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to eventually have to get a new car and I'm not ready for it. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'm very grateful. And it's crazy to think I've been driving a car for half my life.
Those things last forever. If you keep maintenance up on those Corollas, they will last your entire life, if not more. They last so long.
Crazy.
We're grateful for so much, and mostly we're grateful right now to be here together. It's been harrowing to get to the beginning of this episode.
The journey to get here.
And you know what, folks? We're here to talk about Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star because the lovable birds of Hatoful Boyfriend are back in this remastered holiday-themed sequel, Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star.
Yay!
Kanisha, will you tell me about what's up with this game?
Yes, this game was released almost exactly 10 years ago, December 5th, 2015. It was developed by Mediatonic and published by Epic Games. You can get it on Steam for $9.99. There are other collector's editions at different price points as well, so it may be included depending on the Hatoful Boyfriend experience you pick. Wait, I love doing content warnings, and then I'll kick it to it.
And I will say, for what it's worth in the content warning section, I found this game, while this game had some of these, it did not have all of these as a sequel. Our list of content warnings is combined for the games.
Well, yes, we'll repeat the content warning we read last time then.
Yeah.
From, again, Tumblr user Achoquinine, we have war and genocide, suicide, including coerced suicide, murder, including decapitation and dismemberment, cannibalism, guns, terminal illness and biological weaponry, pursuing monster-based horror, unreality, scientific experimentation-based horror, racism, childhood trauma and parent death, infanticide, or more accurately, bird abortion, emotional manipulation, unhealthy codependent relationships, death of a romantic interest, twisted morality and gray morality, and general heartbreakery.
And a lot of Christmas.
A lot of Christmas.
Much Christmas.
Triggering.
Merry
If you don't like Christmas, don't play this game.
Yeah, if you're not into Christmas, no shade, totally get it. Yeah. Don't play this.
I mean, there's characters that their dialogue is Merry Christmas every time they talk. So, I mean, you got to be okay with that.
They're so cute.
How did we play? Once again, I played on the Steam Deck.
I also played on the Steam Deck.
I played on PC again.
Amazing. It's the same controls and mechanics as the original game. It's a visual novel. You're clicking through, you're reading.
Yep. So much clicking.
Lots of clicking. I started using spacebar instead because that also works. And it was a little bit like, I can just hit spacebar now to proceed. Yeah.
And then let's get into our world and our lore and our plot. So this game, the sequel takes place during the third trimester of the school year. The third trimester of the school year, if the events of the BBL ending had never happened, you should play the BBL ending if you don't want to be spoiled through this game. There are references to certain things throughout the main story, and definitely spoilers and some of the bonus content. Hard to call it bonus content, but additional content that's in this game. So it's kind of structured. There's a main story that's split into 4 different chapters that you play through to get to the main endings. So in the main menu, there's a little radio section where you listen in on a radio show hosted mostly by Ryota, where he's basically answering listener questions, bringing in different guests to answer questions, and you learn additional context about the previous game and this game and so on. So it's really cute. And then as you play through the main game and listen to these radio episodes, you also unlock side stories that appear as icons underneath the main chapters in the new game menu. And those are just extra bonus episodes. Again, there are no choices in the side stories. There, I think, are very limited, if any, choices in the radio stories. I think none. And what's interesting about these two is every side story is kind of like one story, except for the Shrine episodes where you play a second shrine date scene with each romanceable character. And except Azami, I believe, but I don't think she had one.
She does not have one.
Yeah.
I don't even think Azami's in this. Is Azami in this main story? I don't think she is.
Briefly mentioned in a radio episode, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
But the shrine visit birds that you do with that side quest are Ryuta, Sakuya, Okasan, Kazuaki, Yuya, Nageki, Shu, and Angel. Angel.
Angel. Yes, they spell his name differently, so it's confirmed Angel in this one, at least for players of the English version of the game. And then that is kind of like big picture gist of everything there is to do, but I will kick it to someone else to kind of take us through the plot.
Wait, what did we think of this layout for this game? I've never really experienced
a chapter-based,
chapter-based, yes, like with the main episodes and the 4 parts and all of that. And like, I sort of was like, okay, I get the side quest. And then the addition of the radio show to like answer lore questions. I was like, wait, I'm actually like kind of into the layout of this game as like the Hatoful Boyfriend, like bow on a present, if you will. Hey. Like, here you go. Like, you guys have a lot of questions. We want to like get into it and also hand wave some stuff because like, why do you care?
Yeah. I liked it to an extent, I think, and it could also just because format-wise is very different from how the first game works. You're doing less like repeating sections and kind of like the roguelike where you're restarting over and over again and doing different routes and everything. And it is set up in the 4 chapters, which is cool. But a lot of the other stuff like the radio, I feel like people could miss because it kind of gets pushed to the background because the 4 chapters are so much of the highlight is like, here's these 4 chapters where the shrine visits and the radio kind of gets lost in the background. So I can see a lot of people, and it is just there for additional context, right? From the first game into this. So a lot of it's not pertinent for at least this main story, but I can see like some of it I didn't do just because I didn't even realize they were a part of it for so long. Cause I feel like they get, especially in menu wise, they kind of lost. Yeah, for sure. Radio is hard to find.
Yeah. It's in the main, instead of like going into your load game or new game menu where Kanisha was mentioning those like other short
side
adventures
stories,
populate. Yeah. There's in your like new game, load game menu settings. Main
menu.
You've got a radio option as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed, like, I liked that it made the answers to these questions that probably lots of people had built into the game. Like, you don't have to go looking for it. So I found that, like, inclusive is a strong word for it, but it does invite everyone to have, like, a full experience with the game, which I appreciated. I do think, it was just a bit sneaky, like you said.
Especially playing these back-to-back and coming off the tail of the first game, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. And I was kind of a little, like, thrown off in the beginning. There's a little bit of friction with this format just because I wanted answers to more of that stuff. And we didn't have that. It was like that essentially ending didn't exist, and now we're picking up from this other ending.
I was mad about that. Yeah. I was like, really? This is where we're gonna...
Yeah. For sure.
This is where we're starting. We're willingly sort of erasing BBL or saying that it like isn't BBL. If for some reason you just jumped in on the holiday episode, BBL stands for Bad Boys Love, not Bird Boys Love or Brazilian Butt Lift, believe it or not. And it is the big back half after you've done like basically, nearly 90%ed Hatoful Boyfriend. You get a full other visual novel that sort of like explains lore stuff. Yeah, I wanted, because I was like, I have an OTP from game 1. I am like, it is female main character and Yuya, period, end of sentence. And then this one starts with female main character and
Ryota,
Nageki.
Red. Oh, Nageki, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Are we saying that? What are we saying? Like,
and it's weird because the narrative, because it's weird this is dating sim and it's like, oh, choose who you want to date and who you want to pursue. The Nageki main character is really interwoven into the main plot. Like that is, especially because Nageki, even though it had a very strong emotional tie to the first game and how Nageki ended up being a ghost in the library and everything like that, it seemed like Nageki kind of got pushed to the side and there was like the other cast that was being focused on, especially in the BBL. But Nageki's so tied to this. It's strange.
I will say I actually liked that. It was just like, here's like an alternate ending. It was kind of like with Attack on Titan, then there's Attack on Titan Junior High. Like, I really needed, like, the junior high of, like, here's the slice of life stuff that you wanted. Even the main plot of this game, like, it's not completely severed. There's, like, you know, certain moments that call upon things that happen in the BBL in, like, a very abstract way.
Yeah.
It definitely calls upon like your style for that kind of continuity. Like, do you like I do understand like the BBL ending ends in such an ambiguous way that you like, especially putting them in such close proximity together, you really want, you feel primed for that continuation. I think in real life, had we experienced like the 3-year gap between these games, then maybe it would feel a little less jarring.
Yeah. For sure. Especially because this is like a slow burn into like the crazy, right? This first chapter does feel like, you know, filler, slice of life kind of in between, because the big things that are happening in this first chapter are very small compared to how the BBL ended.
Yeah. I definitely thought each chapter was going to be standalone. So I was like not expecting it to build the way that it built. And then the other thing that I keep thinking about as we talk about this game in general, I think like the biggest content warning that actually is a theme of the game is this idea of like unreality, and that like I was talking about this yesterday, and I was like, I can't believe the pigeon game is like what is reminding me right now and teaching me right now that like sometimes it doesn't actually matter what things were supposed to be or how it was going to be or what it may have been, and that like what actually matters is being here right now with the people that you're here with right now to figure out like what comes next.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I'm having big feel. I got a little misty in Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star.
I was so misty.
Especially towards the end. I wrote down a couple quotes that were just like, damn, like this is, that's yeah, you're right. Like you got to just live in the moment, you know? We can't let fears of tomorrow deprive us of the joy of today, which is kind of what the theme is in this like latter half of the game.
Yeah.
To say something of the content warnings and the themes, like for me, it was just so heavy I found it to be a major theme and like big metaphor for like depression and suicidality. And I was like, this is a hard sit. So if you're sensitive to those things, that I think for this game, almost even more so than the last game, because you sit in those feelings a lot longer, I would, you know, kind of prepare yourself for that as you move through the main plot.
Yeah. It seems that this game's themes are more emotional, more or less, than the first one. Like the first one goes through a lot of, you know, subverting expectation, talking about war and genocide and what that could do, and like this alternate reality of just like, oh, this game wasn't what you thought it was. And then they also play on a lot of the emotional side too. But this one specifically, I think, focuses on like you said, that idea of like loneliness and everything too.
Yeah, I think they have the advantage of knowing we already like care about the characters, and so they can do a lot more in a shorter time as far as like internal emotional experiences.
Yeah.
And so I feel so there are 4 main episodes. Let's sort of move through them. Yeah. And because typically what I would ask here is like, who are we romancing? Let's talk about
no one.
So
no one at all.
This DLC does not give you, in the way that the first game is like, you're choosing a path, you're going down that path. Simply not the case here. You are experiencing a story. I would like us to talk about if this game is a dating sim or not, because I'm not sure that it is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Not primarily. Yeah.
But not primarily.
No, I mean, if you look at this...
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm curious. I want you to speak more on what makes it feel not primarily versus no. Like, I want to be sold. Yeah. And other than that, the first one definitely is. I'm like, I want to be clear. I enjoyed this game. I had a fun time. But I am like, is it what? We gotta have like a what makes it a dating sim at some point. But
honestly, yes, I would love that. I
not
think
just speaking like he's in the pot. She meant me and her. Jared.
No, I meant like I would love to listen to that. I wasn't trying to include myself. I was like, holy shit, I would love to listen to that. Please do that.
Let me listen to these experts.
In a certain context, yes, because The first one is your more traditional dating sim. And I think because this is an extension off of that, and because of your choices in the first game and who you decided to romance and whether you expanded on different people's routes, that could create different emotional connections in this sequel, where while this sequel doesn't have those traditional aspects of a dating sim where you're picking a character and exploring those routes, you've already done that. You've already put that work in, and now it's exploring that a little further. So I think to some context, yes, but I could also see people saying no because this doesn't have the traditional mechanic tropes of what a dating sim is.
I actually did reconvince myself. If you just play the main DLC storyline, I'm more inclined to be like, I don't know. But as soon as you add the Pigeon Shrine visit, I do think the Pigeon Shrine visit makes it. Yeah. I recant. It is dating sim because they give you literally an option for 8 different characters, human version, bird version.
And you get to choose, right? You can just do one of those. You could do some of them. You can do characters that you romance in the first one. You can expand on them here. You can do different characters, right? So there is that aspect of choosing. It's just not tied to the main story.
I didn't even have to argue at all. The man did it. I kicked my feet up and relax.
I did it.
Okay, first episode, Christmas Thieves attack. We meet the little guys that we mentioned in the last episode, which is that these little bird guys who look like little bird-human hybrids. And I gotta say, devastated that they never discuss what the fuck those guys are.
I know! Yeah, that was my main complaint.
Never mentioned.
They sprinkle ideas of maybe she was doing human-bird experiments, but they never expound on that whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they breed?
Yep.
Like, have we reached the point where, because we never get into it, and as we discussed, like, it's never questioned that we as a human are romantically interested in the birds.
Yeah.
So how long have we had interspecies relationships?
It is weird because Miru and Kaku both share qualities to like Okusan, where it's more of like the primeval bird instincts mixed with a little bit of human, which is also interesting.
Oh my god, what if maybe that has to do Okusan's?
Oh my god, these are Okusan's
that
children.
Seems likely. Because especially like the way like Okusan is just coo and they're just Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh no.
We're making some headcanons that are real and disappointing.
Yes.
I do, for some reason, because I just finished playing this at like 4 a.m., I feel as though I got the impression that they are lab babies. And then I feel like they weren't like
naturally bred.
Their eggs weren't naturally laid. They just happened. They hatched. Because they do say that, but I don't think it was like the exchange of fluids and stuff, you know, that we are.
Could you be more explicit?
I will not.
Can you expect
I'm okay. So that's the impression that I got.
They're science babies, like in The Sims.
Yeah. And then they were supposed to be incinerated, and then they weren't.
Yeah, I had a note on here that they were like failed experiments that were never meant to see the light, and they ended up escaping. Like they were supposed to be, taken care of.
I think Shu is doing it out of like grief and or guilt. That was my impression, but I'm wondering if people had different impressions.
No, I think so too.
Yeah.
Because he keeps them around in the infirmary for a while too.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated, I had a quote here that I thought was funny. I think it's when Yuya shows up and the main character says, "Oh no, the irresponsible and slightly worn out Yuya might be just a little too attractive." And I thought that was
no, because great. T. I was like, I understand, sister.
I love him. I love him so much.
Yuya also shows up in these chapters too, where I was like, okay.
I know. Yuya here to save me because I'm the love of his life. And I'm like, okay, you can save me. So this is like a sleep horror movie, basically, that we're witnessing.
Honestly, for sure.
And so I don't remember exactly how the episode breaks are, but we've got Christmas Thieves Attack, Fallen Chronicles, Absolute Zero, The Day the Night Slept Before, The Day the Night Slept After. And then we've got like those epilogues and side quests as well. Mm-hmm. So we set the scene.
The first one is just the Christmas. We were in the cafe, the Torm. Yeah. They're the cafe with Ryoto and Rabu, and he gets attacked by random, because there's someone going around stealing Christmas trees, and their whole plot of this, their first one is trying to find the thieves who are stealing the Christmas trees and everything, and Ryuta working with Sakuya to try to find the thieves.
Mm-hmm. And the thieves happen to be our little hybrid birdies.
Yep. Miru and Kaku.
Yes, and they target Sakuya's beautiful Christmas tree that he made in the school council room because he's school council president. And then they literally blow a hole through the entire room. And it's revealed that they have a giant tank.
Yeah, they pull open a tank, which is insane. Yeah.
Which feels like they probably had to have stolen it from Shu, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Had to have. Yeah. Had to.
And then they target Sakuya's house, and basically everyone's there. This is where they meet our little hybrids, and everyone's like, no, you cannot take the house, or you cannot take this Christmas tree. No, but you can take the holiday star. They were like, oh, what you actually want is the holiday star, and you can't take it from this tree. And they're like, okay, we won't do that. And then they go, and I think they go back to the school to get, is there a leftover holiday star there? I forgot exactly why they go back.
I think because they go back with Shu, because the whole thing comes out with the experimentation and everything. Well, the reason they were stealing Christmas trees is because when that failed experiment happened and when they escaped, that all happened at Christmas. So they have this association with Christmas. So they're trying to scoop up all the Christmas related things too. So that's when they pull up in the tank, and that's when Yuya pulls up. He has the military vest and the sniper rifle and everything. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, and so then they go back and forth, and you have a choice here I don't think you can fail it, but you have a choice here to attack the tank, and then Yuya helps you attack the tank. And basically the tank goes down because Shu, who did the experimentations, made the
allergy bomb.
Yeah.
Their eyes are watering.
Tear gas specifically for these hybrids. Because Shu, early in the chapter, is like, hey, are you allergic to some kind of bean? I don't know if it was soybeans or something. You were like, no. And he's like, okay, interesting. Good. Yeah. And you learned that it was to make this gas so that he can open it and it gets into the tank where you've attacked it and where Yuya's been shooting it with his AK whatever. The little hybrids come out and they're like, oh my god, Merry Christmas. And you're like, okay. And then Shu decides at the end of the chapter he's gonna take them in, and everyone's like, are they going to live? And he's like, we'll see. But they do. You see them again later, so they're living. Yeah, that is chapter 1.
Yeah, they show up a lot. They're also the only characters that have somewhat animated pictures. They jump around whenever they're on screen, which is adorable. The other thing I wrote down too is obviously this game has a lot of anime tropes, but there's a couple times where main character will fight. You can pick a move to fight, and the one here I thought was funny I wrote down was the immobile fist of the irrational teenage girl was the move that our main character tried using on the tank, which I thought was funny.
Love her.
I also love when what is the name of that lawyer game where it's
Ace Attorney.
Yes, Ace Attorney. Yeah, I like when those little interjections come up. Yeah.
My biggest episode 1 note, which I just find hilarious, I wrote 2 things. I wrote the Yuya groove with a bunch of exclamation points because I liked that they kept his sound design.
It is,
and then I wrote, quote, any male dove would become super for a lady as lovely as yourself, mon ami. Yuya.
Need that. That's the energy. If he doesn't come with that energy, y'all, or if they don't come with that energy, y'all, leave them. They're not for you. Okay. Chapter 2. I believe this is Angel's chapter. Yes. Someone else take it because I kind of forgot how it starts. I literally slip into delusion when I have to play through Angel.
Well, especially these first 2 chapters are a little weird. The third and the last one end up connecting some points from the first one, but are more relative to the second one. This one starts in the lab, and we have that new character, Nishiiki Tori. Tori is this doctor that is doing experiments in this lab.
I do think his name is even longer than you just said.
Oh, is it?
I think it's Nishiki Koji.
Why did I write down half the name?
Nishiki Kuji? Nishikouji.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow, I wrote down half the name. Wow.
Jared does have too long. We're calling him Tori, which honestly is what I did.
I mean,
yeah.
In most of my notes, I just said Tori.
Yeah. But yeah, this one does focus on Angel, and we meet them in the beginning in the library with Nageki, and Angel is freezing on the floor for some reason, just in the corner, just cold, freezing on the floor. But this whole chapter is themed around this kind of Comic-Con-esque convention that Angel is wanting to go to and cosplay for and everything too. Ryota also has a cosplay, which I think is so funny. I love the bird designs in the cosplay are my favorite. I love them so much.
I love Ryuta's little outfits. Like, yes, so good.
They're so good. They're so good. Oh man, like I said, I was telling Claire before this, my notes are all over the place. They're so crazy. Tori and Angel have, yes, exactly. Mine look like that. I don't remember the connection, but Tori and Angel have some sort of connection there, and it might be because Angel has that ability of like delusion, where they go into the fantasy things that they muster up end up becoming reality. And I think Tori was using that, and other people in the convention that have this extreme fandom where they can almost manifest these things. He was trying to use this to create this ultimate weapon, is what I remember, and just like using the people of the convention. I think that's what the connection between Angel and Tori is. Tori trying to capture Angel to use them for this ultimate weapon that he's creating. Oh yes, yeah, okay, that I do remember. Yeah, because he's taking blood from him. Because we find Angel passed out on the stairs. We find out that Tori, with Angel and other students that are part of this convention, has been taking their blood to use this weapon.
Yes. And the lure is to Tori is the editor of like a manga publishing company, and so he's at this like Comic-Con situation ostensibly to recruit new talent, and Angel is delighted when this like very flamboyant, ostentatious looking bird who like literally has like an Egyptian pharaoh looking type design around his head comes up to his table, and it's the only person at the busiest day of this Comic-Con to come up to their table and give his card, which is why our player character is immediately suspicious. And we notice that each time we see Angel after originally meeting Tori, like they're having meetings, and Angel's like, no one should come with me, even though everyone feels like it's unsafe. And we see him, and he's getting like paler and paler by the day. And then we find him passed out in the stairwell, and we're like, "What? You have to tell us it's going on. Like, we're gonna see what's up." So I believe the next day is when you follow him to the publishing company, and you're like, "This isn't a meeting room." There's like a sign that flashes to this like operating session, or something like a big red scary sign that would not be outside of a meeting room at a publishing company. And this is where you see that Tori is taking Angel's blood, and you kind of like bust in and are like, what the fuck?
He specifically says he needs blood from the otaku to fuel his weapon, is what he says.
And so
what does that word mean?
Like,
that's an anime word, isn't it?
Like weeb, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, for the viewers at home, because I definitely totally know. Definitely knew what it was.
But yes, and so Tori's weapon also looks like a tank to me. It's like a giant, it's like a giant tank, and there are these little like cells, or like, there are these little cells in which like he has otaku from the Comic-Con like sitting in there, and they're like fangirling, and he's like, this is my master weapon, like using like Angel's blood has this unreality quality to it, and I can and if I harness it, like anyone can do that, not just Angel. And this is my like big illusion tank that shoots beams that like make this happen. And Tori actually has an interesting relationship to Shu. Because they are like, I believe Tori is from the Crow Party.
Yep.
And then Shu is from the Hawk Party. And Yuya's from the Dove Party. And so, like, what's his name? Tori has been very intimidated by Shu and feels like Shu is, like, encroaching upon, like, his discoveries. And there's just like a jealous one-sided rivalry there. So that is why he's so motivated to abduct Angel and like kind of create this weapon to kind of like outshine Shu.
Yeah. It's like two scientists that are competing against each other of who is a better scientist, and Shu is always the better version of that. And Shu works at the school, so Shu has access to like all the kids and doing experiments and everything too. My favorite part with all of this is when you fight the actual like beam machine that Tori creates. Angel turns all of the cast or this main cast into magical girls, and we all use magical girl powers to fight off the tank, which I loved.
And this is the first chapter too, where you can get bad endings. So your choice is to say the right part of the magical girl transformation catchphrase for your character. And if you get it wrong, you can actually get a bad ending. It's not as like interesting, like blah, 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 hark party, as the last game, but you do get a gallery thing for doing it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So in this chapter specifically. So, yes.
Yeah.
You get, is it a separate? I was under the impression, and so now I'm just curious. If you die, it's just like you die, the Hawk ending?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
it's not this. It's not exactly the same.
It's not the same, but
it's just like the same image. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is there a separate, different death in this one magical girl moment?
There's like a slightly different, whatever.
You know me, I died a bunch of times because
I
that's
forget.
just classic Claire.
I actually, I was scared I wasn't gonna, well, I mean, I didn't come to this recording on time anyway, but I was scared I wasn't gonna finish the game because I had to go find the bad ending. I was like, I can't find the right one to give me this. It was the only thing left in my gallery that I couldn't find.
Yeah, so I mean, I did the thing where I more or less for this, just because I'm usually playing a lot of things at once, I use a guide. Just so I can get certain endings and things like that too, so I can see which ending happens. Again, less so in this game, but the first game had a lot of different endings. So especially in that game, I was like, I just need to see. I just need to see what I need to do to get in this direction and everything.
And that's episode 2.
Yes.
And then episode 3 and 4 end up sort of going together. I feel like. Yes. I mean, they all sort of build on each other, but Angel falls asleep. And then it becomes clear that the falling asleep thing is sort of something we're going to want to pay attention to later.
Yeah. So the third chapter starts, I believe we're in the classroom. It's the last day of it's the last day before winter break is my understanding. And this is where we get kind of like a notice at the beginning of the chapter that this is related actually to another, like a comic or something that's kind of like a spin-off from the Hatoful Boyfriend Universe. So if you want to go check that out, maybe skip chapter 3 and skip this part. But if not, basically Kazuaki kind of ends class, and he's like, by the way, the astrology club, which had turned into a cult and was banned but is now back, they are hosting a bonfire, and you can look at the constellations, but it's not really about that. It's kind of just a chill bonfire now. But everyone should come, and it'll be fun. And this is happening on the roof. And we find out that Nageki can, like...
You can move up and down. You can't leave the library, but he can go up and down from where the library is, which I thought was a funny little thing for him.
They were like, let's do a quick retcon.
Yeah.
We need Nageki on the roof. How are we going to get him up there?
He can just do it. So that's how we get to the roof. And the thing we're excited about is to see the lunar eclipse. And so the eclipse happens, and basically everyone falls asleep, and we learn it is a kind of hypnosis, and we are all having the same dream. And that sets the stage for everything that happens in chapter 3 and 4. And I'm going to let someone else take it away. Not because I don't remember, but I feel like I'm yapping.
I would like to reveal my 2 notes that I wrote at the top of episodes 3 and 4, which was, dear God, I want an auto scroll. I want an auto scroll so bad. I just want to be able to read this story. Here. Like I was enjoying it. It was one of those things that is just a quality of life thing that would have made so much better.
The fast forward is like slower now. So I used it. Yeah. So I used it to kind of function as an auto scroll, but it's not perfect. It's still a little too fast. So
I tried this as well because I had the same issue of just clicking over and over again was a problem. But the fast forward is just a little too fast where it's kind of hard to read. But because there's less dating sim stuff here. There's only maybe 2 or 3 instances where you actually have to choose something. Most of this is just reading text.
Yeah.
So like having an auto scroll or having some way where we can like mitigate having to click every single time would help so much.
Yeah.
My wrist got very tired.
Yeah. And the opening of this where it's like you start on the train and you're like in that sort of like dream space with Nageki on your Holiday Star dream train adventure. I just absolutely... I laugh so hard at her when she's like making comments to herself, and she's just like, "What a financially troubling dream," because she like didn't have a ticket for the train, and I'm like, "Yes, so queen." Like,
those are how my nightmares are. I can't afford my bills.
I was like, "Oh, I love her."
The player character is kind of clear coded, almost.
Thank you. You mean meant to be with you? Yeah.
You mean exactly. Canonically,
but clear coded. So we go on our train journey. We see a conductor who I loved the conductor character design.
The conductor.
I
loved. So good.
There's a little deleted scene that reveals why the conductor is familiar to us later, which I thought was really cute. Ooh. In one of the After Effects.
Yeah, I loved that one.
And the way that I actually really feel like if you're interested in the story, playing this one with a little bit of a limited spoiler set is probably good and fun and like emotional impact from here. So without spoiling too much, episode 3, we go into the dream space that we're not entirely sure if it's a dream space yet or not. And there's like a fun little king and we meet a bunch of people and you're like going around this like storybook style environment, and you're like running into your friends from class because we haven't quite realized that we're all collectively hallucinating yet. And I also wrote down how episode 3 ends, which like sets us up for this like deep stress, which is just the sun will never rise, the dream will never end, Finn.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's Hatoful Boyfriend. There's the game we're playing.
The whole buildup is like, okay, we're just waiting until sunrise happens so we can all wake up, right? Let's just all wake up from this dream that we're having. And you find out from the townsfolk, they're like, oh no, after midnight, it's just like it's more night. Day never comes here.
It's
so
like
you'll never
dusk,
wake up.
Midnight, night, midnight again, dusk again. Yep.
It's so scary. And I was like, okay, so... are we all dead? Like, what's actually happening?
I mean, even though I love the character design of the king, immediately like creepy vibes from this whole situation. Like the whole kind of storybook aspect kind of leans a little creepy here, where it's like all the townsfolk are also this, like galaxy, just almost like silhouetted black of themselves, where like you can't really. There's no features for any of these birds or anything.
And it says like citizen,
a little creepily. Yeah, just as citizen.
Yes. And mind you, like from meeting the king and beyond, the king speaks in the third person. So the king will be like, the king said that blah, 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 blah. And the king cried. The king is crying. Which also adds
He's a weepy king.
He's a weepy king. The king is a very weepy king. And so that is also like going on and adding to like the uncultured and weird effect of the king. And also throughout this third chapter, like the king's head changes. As you know, like he, you know, these are like for the most part like still art of like the pigeons or the birds or whatever. But for the king, like when they are crying, and then even when he's not crying, but like maybe is transitioning from having cries, like different versions of his head pop out, which is something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And then the other like overarching game design thing that we forgot to mention, because they tell you in the game, these episodes were released over time. So they did not actually all come out at once. You could buy the DLC, and then over the course of time, they released these episodes. So at the beginning of episode 4, as we're like in this transition, they do like kind of a fun recap. And then they're like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you doing this? And Hiyoko is like, the camera, of course, these episodes weren't all released at once. So people have probably forgotten what happened last time.
Yep, I wrote that down too. I was like, Hyoko's funny fourth wall break, addressing the camera, and Link since the last game.
Yeah.
That was funny.
She like breaks the fourth wall a lot more in this game, which I found really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryuta's like, everyone's dreaming the same dream. It's so romantic.
Yeah.
It's like, Yuya, please. Who the fuck, whoever it is. Nevertheless.
Ryuta.
Thank you. We get into episode 4. I think we maybe shouldn't spoil that much. I think people should play it, but I do think like there's emotional catharsis. We're like dealing with a large scale problem, and how they deal with that problem. I'm curious what you guys thought about the like how we wrap up trying to get out of the dream space and like the different little scenes that take us to getting there. I had a lot of fun with them. But I was also a little bit like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I felt that as well. Up until you start getting King backstory, it's a little confusing because, again, your motivations feel weird, and how we're getting out of here. You know, as we're going through, we collect like these gems, which the gems end up being used in one way or another, and how we ultimately do escape the dream sequence. But it is until you get the King backstory, which is awful, by the way. It's heartbreaking.
It's awful.
It is terrible. It is one of those things, again, which I think I had this in the first game. When you get this information, you just get like this pit in your stomach, and I was just like, oh no, don't like you kind of see it leading up to that, and you're like hoping that's not the case, and then when it happens, you're just like, oh, it's like a gut punch, and you're like, oh, this is so. That is a very good like emotional payoff, I think through all of this too. But same with what you're saying, Claire. I think the lead up before that is just a little confusing about what we're actually doing and how we're leading into actually escaping the dream sequence in the first place.
Yeah. And it's like, obviously it's me, so I got the most excited when it's like, okay, Yuya and I back to back, let's go find these people and get everybody out of the dreams and whatever. And like, I'm not surprised by the number of Easter eggs in this game, because I do feel like that's sort of the Hatoful Boyfriend way, but I was like delighted by them.
Yeah.
And so that did make me want to ask you guys about the migrant and what you thought about the migrant. And there's like this, we get bird afterlife lore in this game that is basically like after birds die, they have to like walk the unknown, you know, to let go of their past life and be able to like be reborn again. And we meet like a recurring character called the migrant, who is like moving through this dreamscape, but is so different, like very different in vibe, very different in look than like everything else that's in that dreamscape. So it seems kind of clear that he is passing through. And did you guys catch who the migrant is?
Literally not until the end. Not until the like very. I had some idea of like connection to the cast, right? I had some because again, the migrant is the only character that's different here. Everything is very storybook. Everything is very silhouetted. If you're not the king, it's like the king, and everyone else in this world is just a silhouette. So this character is clearly different and maybe in a similar situation and circumstance that we are. And so I was like, I know there's some connection here, and there's little like hints that are dropped throughout that, but no, not until the end where it actually is revealed that I was like, oh damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah,
it was sad.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful, but I was also sad.
Yeah, fair. A lot of like death and grieving in Hatoful Boyfriend in a way that I was like not expecting when we picked up the series.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too because the whole like conceit to this end, right, with Yuya and us trying to wrangle up the cast is trying to convince people to, want to leave, want to break out, and everyone's is a little bit different. Some people have like a utopia of like, oh, I love it here, I don't want to leave, and others are just like, oh, they're like wallowing in either issues they have or they're stuck on something from their past, whether that's good or bad, and they just want to wallow in it. They don't want to leave that or anything too. They have a worry for those kind of emotions. So it was interesting seeing both sides where some people didn't want to leave because it was great, and some people didn't want to leave because they felt like they were holding on to these negative emotions.
Yeah.
Should we talk about how it ends?
We can, yeah.
Yeah.
We break out.
We leave.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Or we die.
Yes, exactly.
If you pick the wrong gem, you will die.
Yeah, you'll just die.
How'd you find that out, Claire?
At that point in time, I used a guide because I wasn't certain which gem I needed to pick.
Please.
And so I double checked. In my defense, I was right, but I was so scared because I had previously died earlier.
Is there like lead up to the right answer? Because I was just using the guide and I didn't necessarily I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. Wasn't paying attention to the breadcrumbs leading up to that. So there is like this is the right choice.
I'll spoil it for you if you want. I'll spoil it for us all. It's because the correct gem is topaz, and it's because the king gave you the other two gems, the garnet and the lapis lazuli. But Hitori, aka Kazuaki, gave you when you visit his room. He gave you the topaz.
I see. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And the gems are bird souls. And the thing, the planet, the thing that Nageki has that is like guiding them throughout the whole star, it has bird souls, like the little stars that are maps to the room. Those are bird souls. And so you take the gem and you put it into the thing that Nageki has.
Planisphere.
Planisphere.
No.
Wait, it's not?
Yeah.
It's Planisphere.
Yeah. Planisphere.
And on the train to this fake star, and at the beginning of chapter 3, the conductor tells Nageki, he's like, oh, you have a free pass, like we said, and he's like, do not give it to anyone who asks for it. And so throughout chapter 4, I think the end of 3 and 4, the king is repeatedly asking for it. I believe it's chapter 4. The king is like, okay, if you won't give me the planisphere, at least give me one star from it. And Nageki's like, well, it's not the whole thing, so I think this is okay. So that's why
Nageki's so sweetie.
He's such a cutie. And so that's why one is missing and you have to replace it. And that is the way that you get, well, I already spoiled it. That's the way that you get Kazuaki to come. You add his soul back to the planisphere. Because it kind of seemed like he wasn't coming otherwise. So that's he has the saddest story. It's so devastating.
So many things have happened just in me trying to look up look up whatever it was that we just looked up. Oh my God, my short-term memory is so freaking bad. Yes, thank you. So did you know that colloquially on the wiki, one of the things they call bad boys love is, in parentheses, hurtful boyfriend?
Yeah, that's what pops up after you finish Bad Boys Love on the dialogue boxes. It says hurtful boyfriend.
I didn't see that. I thought it was, oh my God, I didn't see that at all. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was so locked in on getting the epilogue when I did Bad Boys Love that I did not. I like finished it, laptop slam shut. I didn't even play it on the laptop, but you know. Did our choices matter? We've gone through these things. I think all of us just there's this strong desire that I'm experiencing to go through every little piece of the plot with you guys because this game is so crazy. And
especially the king stuff. Like I have this like urge to like talk about the king. Story, but I understand spoilers and stuff too. I guess let's do, as we talk about, do our choices really matter? What is success? What is it? Did we have fun? I think that's also a moment that we can like include some of those things that come to mind. But I'm like, okay, let's talk about this game as a whole because we sort of moved through each of these adventures. Yeah. But yeah, did our choices really matter? I would not describe them as feeling like they mattered a lot to me, though there are a couple of them that clearly do because you can and will die. You die.
Yeah.
For sure.
It felt less stressful to me than it felt emotionally stressful, but the actual choosing felt less stressful to me than it did in the first game.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think after this, I like the choices aspect and the dating sim aspect for sure, but I almost kind of preferred this more linear chapter structure in terms of, you know, having to go back and redo things. You end up fast forwarding through a lot anyway. So it's like kind of cutting out that middleman and just getting right to the pertinent information, which I liked. I liked just like having information. The
characters are so good.
Yeah.
And the writing is so good that I agree. I'm like, let me lock in and find out what the Hatoful Boyfriend folks have in store for me today.
Exactly.
Like,
I'll sit back and enjoy this journey that you're going to take me through. Like I like that structurally.
And I guess they were going to do a third game and it did not happen, which is kind of devastating. So I'm curious if that will ever happen. But yeah, there was going to be a separate timeline third game called Mirror where Ryuta's parents are alive, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I love that they're just like, nothing is real, everything is real. Let's tell every version of the story, which is
every story
as
possible.
A fanfic girly, no choice but to respect the idea of like, what if this timeline? What if that timeline? What if also this?
More in like franchises and just creative enterprises should do this. I'm like, yes, I do want every version of the story. Tell me about all the possibilities.
The what if stuff is so interesting because that's usually where they could play around with, you know, breaking, you know, their genre norms and story norms they set up and being like, but what if this happened? And it's like, cool, let's do it. Let's explore that.
I had fun.
I had so much fun.
I'm curious about how you guys define success in this game. Because it's like obviously not dying, but also like, I don't know. I don't think you need to 100% it to have a good time. I think if you want the lore, you should definitely listen to the radio shows.
Yeah.
And do like all the adventures, but.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like how my experience was. I was kind of similar to you, Claire, with this first one where I finished this main section and I almost was like, cool, I'm done. I went back and did some of the shrine stuff, but I didn't, for lack of being able to find the radio first. I had to Google where to find that stuff. So I'd even get to that. But I think you're right. I don't think you need all of this to have an enjoyable experience, right? Yeah. These end two chapters alone, I think, are well worth the build up from the first game. Like throughout all of this, how we see the characters grow throughout the entire. If you look at the experience as a whole through both games, I think there's a lot of emotional payout here. And success is not dying for sure, but I think it's getting some closure on those things and exploring some of those more emotional stories that the first game touched on. But again, I think it was more, you know, subvert expectation from the first game and creating a world that's very different than what you imagine.
Yes, I agree. I think for me, success feels, I mean, with the inclusion of the radio stuff and how it's included, I feel like success is kind of like a meta. It's like getting all the same achievements you want, but I think it's part of the argument of like Hatoful Boyfriend, that Claire talks a lot about, is that like unreality, and that like both things can be true and nothing can be true about the story.
For sure.
And I think that is part of the success, is that like you as a player can answer the questions that you want to answer with like a little more agency in the situation, based on like where like these side stories are and this and that and the other. And I think just like learning as much as you want to learn, I think that is what success is. And so for me, like I found myself motivated where, especially coming off of the last game, like I was like, I do not have all the achievements, which means I don't know what's happening. And I think that is how I played this game. I came in and it's like success for me is 100%ing the game. And I was able to do that.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
I think for myself too, a lot of the ending stuff, like I said, I wrote in a couple quotes from Yuya. There's, as Yuya is trying to go through and convince people to leave, he's talking to Ryota, who doesn't want to leave for one or two reasons. But one of the quotes he says is, "No matter how fair the flower, it will rot and fall into pieces if you never let it go. Don't let your fears for tomorrow cloud the memories you're making today." And I touched on that in like the beginning too, of how that is so connected to at least my like every day right now, my own journey through therapy and my emotions and everything, is just like that fear and anxiety of the what if. We talked about like these what if situations, everything can happen and might happen, but that robbing you of your joy from now, right? And that's like, you can't let the stress and anxiety of what could possibly happen take away from the joy that you're feeling right now. And I think that's big, and that's cool that they're exploring those themes in this sense, and these characters more or less can get stuck. You can get stuck in those emotions, you can get stuck in those feelings, and then like letting go of that is important. And I was like, yeah, like that's like for success, tackling themes like that and having me, connect the synapses to my real world situation. If a game can do things like that, like that's a successful experience. Like I love stuff like that.
And like I felt like a big piece of this one too, on top of like your own emotional decisions about whether or not you're going to sort of leave this space, is they all sort of connect, I think, in community as well, both in the sense of like a communal dream, and also after the first game, like they're all more bonded together, but also like a good reminder of your group. Your community is not only people that you 100% love 100% of the time. Your community is also like a weird sleepy teacher and a fucked up guy and
for sure.
And your brother who you hate and you love, and his butler who is maybe an assassin or not. And like, a community can be a lot of things. And that like and the fact that it did literally take everyone in order to escape, that like, it's like, no, if Shu is like, we're staying here, we're staying, like we have to convince Shu also. And like to figure out a way to negotiate like the needs of a large group, while also considering the individual needs and emotions of people who are like caught up in their own shit.
Yeah.
Huge theme for pigeon stock photos, Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that. Absolutely.
Shall we rate?
Yeah.
Hello. It's a holiday episode, so I think on spice we'll cloves or something. Romance, mistletoe. And overall ratings, we will continue to take a page out of No Small Games Girlies books and rate on a scale of ourselves. But if you want to get fun and frisky, maybe I'll rate mine on Santa hats or something like that. Who knows?
Cups of eggnog.
Wait, for spiced rum.
Spiced rum.
Okay.
Honestly, though, 0 out of 10 spice for me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 0.
Yeah, I was telling them before, like somehow this game has less spice and romance than the first one, which the first one already had a low bar when it came into some of those themes, and somehow this is even less, which,
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they're cowards for, in all of the words that this game has, I did not once see the word cloaca.
It is so crazy that you want the first to fuck so bad.
It's not... I'm just like, if you're gonna make the whole, it's not that I'm like, I'm desperate for the birds to fuck.
You just need to know if that's happening. You want answers.
Like, yeah, I'm like, you've given me answers about so many things that I am not certain I ever needed to know.
Yeah.
But
you're giving me romance, the birds are romancing, and now there's bird-human hybrids, and you're not explaining how that happens? Like,
answer the question.
Come on.
Okay.
Also, I just have like questions about other humans in the space, but that's a different.
It would have been wild to see like more humans show up. It's a game where we like more humans are there, and we can see how other humans are acting in this. Because clearly there's other humans in this world.
Huh?
You read this as a book?
I would read this as a book. Like I'm like,
sure.
I want to know what happens in this world. Like,
this is one of those games where afterward I usually do like a fandom page deep dive on lore and stuff, but because there's nothing going forward, it's just like, well, I guess this is all I get.
I mean, it could happen. I think
that's true.
Problem is the game engine they were using is broken now or something.
Oof.
Oh no.
They have to redo everything from the ground up.
Well, and I wonder too, like, because the original creator Hatomoa like wasn't listed on the second game, but then is listed in some places on the second game. So I wonder if like she's able to do more with it, or if like, because I don't know what people sign away in different circumstances when they start meeting, working with people.
Did this have a big publisher behind it? I don't remember if there was a.
Devolver did some of the remake, but it's Mediatonic and Epic Games published it.
Okay, so
yeah. Romance. I found romance in this.
I too found romance in this. I think I would give it like a 5.
I think that's where I was leaning as well. I think I did the same last time. I'm trying to think. There was more romance here than there was in the first game for me, because the first game is very romance forward, but I also in the first episode of this talked about like the emotional side of that, and I think there's a lot of that here. There's a lot of connection and bonding in a group, which depending on your connection can be romantic, right? There's some things with Ryota, and whether that's specifically romantic with the main character or more just like worry of a friendship loss. I can see it go either way. For me, it didn't have a definitive answer on that, but if I wanted to lean into headcanon, I'm going to say that I could be romantic and say, yeah, like that's romantic.
Or if you want to lean into my headcanon, it's not.
Yeah, that's true too. You're riding into the sunset, him with his vest on, sniper rifle on his back.
I think he said, somebody, I can't remember if it's you or someone else, but somebody's like, we are too linked by the karma of our past lives. And I'm like, yeah, I love that as like a concept, because like we talk about that all the time in the sense of like soulmates and narrative and stuff like that. But it's really fun to have a character be like, we're linked by the karma of our past lives. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I've literally lived all of those past lives
I've
with
lived
you
your
guys.
lives.
You're right.
I've been here. Yeah.
I think I am going to say 5.5.
Okay.
Valid.
Kanisha, did you say romance?
Yeah, I said 5.
You say 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Overall, I enjoyed this one.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I do too. And I'm trying to figure if I like this more than the first one. And, ratings don't necessarily have to be comparative. They can stand on their own as well. But for this specifically, I think I'm connecting the two of them because of just how similar the experiences are. And I think they both hit on different emotional sides at different points too. So I may rate this the same as the first one, maybe a little more. Maybe I'll rate this. What did I rate the first one? Like a 6.5 or 7?
I forgot to write down our individual ratings in the first one. So
Great.
Might just contradict myself here, but I think I'll go like a 7. Yeah.
And then let me put this bug in your ear. I think we should all rate the series as a whole also.
Ooh.
Because I think I'd give this one a 7. Maybe a 7.5, because I liked the concept of radio lore, answering lore questions from the first game a lot.
Yeah. I think coming out the other end, I think it's probably the same. I might actually go down like half a point or so, just because I think I can see people having friction with how different these two are. And if you already have an idea of like, oh, I want to jump into the bird dating game, and you jump into the first one, you're like, oh, cool, it's about dating birds, and there's some crazy shit, and then you come into this one, it's very much, it's very less about dating birds and more about the crazy shit. I can see people having a little bit of friction with the idea of, again, what is a dating sim, and what does that mean, and everything too. Yeah,
that's valid. It's a valid question. I think overall for this game by itself, I would give it a 7. I do think you need the first game to fully appreciate this game.
I think so as well, for sure. For sure.
It's not like a fun, like, it's kind of a standalone. Like, no, you need them both.
No, without the first game, I feel like this would be like a 4 to 5 experience because I would be upset that I didn't know what I needed to know.
So confused.
If you don't plan on playing the first one, just play chapter 1 and 2 of this, and then you could be fine. You can be done after that.
I think for the series, I'd give it like an 8. I think people should play it. I think there's so many people in my life who, again, like don't love dating sims or like have a different respect for them, but are like curious about this game. And I would like urge people to play it. And it definitely, like, you leave with an emotional response that you just wouldn't expect. Like sometimes from picking up a dating sim, but especially not like open image like bird dating sim. So I think overall love that I've had this experience, and feel like it's a pretty essential one for people who like games.
I would also say that this is a perfect game to watch someone play too.
Yes.
I think that there's some like decisions that I think matter, but ultimately I think wrong decisions just result in dying, right? The first game has more like, who do you want to date? But if you're just like, I don't really want to play this, if you have a favorite content creator, or if there's like a YouTube channel like and they're play, like that's the perfect way to experience this too.
Absolutely. What are we leaving behind?
My first thought is to leave something for the king. That was like my first thing. It's just like, just because it's like the king's backstory is so devastating.
Very
I just
sad.
wanted to leave like my number or something. Like, yo, if you're feeling, just give me a call. If you need a buddy, like I got you. Just like, give me a call or something, man, because that's sad.
No, okay. Let me think. I would leave behind. This is really hard. I would leave behind. Claire, you go.
I'm thinking. My initial impulse was I'm leaving behind a bird Sona. But then I was like, how do I also leave behind my number, but it's just for Yuya? Like,
here's my address, Yuya. You know what to do with that.
Oh, not the address.
Whoa.
I want to leave like an actual constellation map for the king.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Or for the migrant to then take the king with him or something like that to go.
They're going on their exploration through the cosmos and everything. So it's just like having some, even though the migrant's very much like, I go wherever the metaphorical space winds take me.
The migrant is also like giving Doctor Who to me a little bit, like showing up in an environment and being like, I don't know, this is going to be a wild ride. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I have to answer now.
I'll do one more. Are you ready for a really general one?
Sure.
I would like people to leave behind with this game the concept that just because something is a dating sim and just because something looks a certain kind of way doesn't mean that it can't be an emotionally impactful experience. So I'd like to leave behind the preconceived notions about stock photo dating sims.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. I would leave behind antidepressants.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. for everybody.
We're leaving Lexapro. We're leaving Wellbutrin. We're leaving Zoloft. We're leaving Xanax. We're leaving
Lexapro for everybody.
For literally everyone.
Sertraline for the homies.
Perfect.
Prozac for the pals.
We'll crush them up so the birds can just like peck them on the floor too. So it's easier to.
I have to give my cat 1/4 of a Prozac every day, so we can do it for the birds.
Well, from one fellow cat anxiety to another, that's always fun.
Jared, thank you for coming on our show again.
This
was so good.
Would you like to tell the folks a little bit about where to find you and who you are again?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for bringing me on. I honestly, this was such a great experience. And I say this in a lot of places too, that I love podcasting and trying out different games because they're games that I would never have been gravitated towards before. And even though I don't have much dating sim experience, this game has always kind of been on my radar as the weird bird dating sim. But I'm so glad that I played it because I got some real world emotional payoff from it. And that's cool. And games like that can elicit emotional reactions in me, get bumped to the top of my list all the time, where it's not many games can do that, or not many games try to do that. They just try to, churn out the same thing over and over again. So it's cool in games like this touch on aspects that are more human, which is funny in the bird dating game. So I love that. I could not recommend both of these games enough because they were such a good time. But yes, Play Along Podcast anywhere, wherever you're listening to this show right now, you can find our show as well. And yeah, check us out there.
Woo! Yay! Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
We nailed it last time. We got to nail it again.
I honestly listened to the episode and I was like, wow, that sounded a lot better than I felt like.
I will say I didn't even have to sync that one.
Oh, really?
That was
the best one we've ever done.
one that we did. When we were all just sort of goofing around at the end and then we were like, 3, 2, 1, we did it. That's the one that we used. And that's crazy. It worked out.
On my end, I was like, wow, we all said this at different times. This is crazy.
Yeah. Would you like to count us in?
Let's do this again sometime.
If Kanisha lets you come back.
If I get to come back, that's true.
I guess he's all right.
Date With Us is produced and co-hosted by Claire and Kanisha.
Claire does the editing, and the intro music Glimmer was composed for the show by Jason Duran.
Find us on Instagram and Blue Sky as Date With Us Podcast.
And don't forget to share, rate, or review the show.
Tell your crush about us.
We dare you!
Happy holidays to those who are celebrating. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Tell your crush about us.
Tell your crush about us. We dare you.